Greetings, welcome. Thanks for joining me here for this reading, which is for this up-and-coming new moon on the 10th in Gemini solar eclipse. So let's see, I've laid the cards out to save a bit of time in terms of, waiting for them to jump. So we're going to go through and clarify. This reading is looking at current energies, our choice at this time or choices, obstacles, advantages, and traits for ease. So what we came out with to begin with, overarching energies, is the Princess of Swords. And here we have, this lovely Princess of Swords in the heavens, in the skies, amongst the cumulus. Not quite been able to see clearly. With that, we get Judgment. So the cards would suggest at this current time there's a coming together of all sorts of realizations, actually. But we are yet to, in fact, see what is clearly there. Now, this can be on a totally individual level. This reading is for the collective, so it's very general reading. There are things currently in the way to be able to see the full extent of something, I feel. The princess often can be seen as sort of expending a lot of energy without really knowing what she's defending, or he. What is being defended? What do we feel we need to defend? But the pathway or the vista in front of us is not clear. But with Judgment, we see past, present, and future kind of all coming together at once, giving us some new realizations. So it's kind of a slight, it's a bit mysterious, actually, but very interesting. We move into the choice position with the Knight of Wands. Very impulsive. All of the wonderful qualities of impulsivity, passion, great bravery, actually, in flying into, he literally, she generates his own energy, his own weather patterns almost, with this fiery, flaming backdrop. In the position of choice, maybe there's a caution here, because not everything is clear as yet. Not everything is clear. So this sort of striving and driving forward, plunging ourselves in a certain direction or at certain people or with certain opinion, quick to make the first judgment. We need to be a bit cautious at this time, I feel. Anyway, and this is a collective reading. It is for the general collective out there over this new moon time. We got, or should I say, we get to possible obstacles at this current time. We will go back through and clarify each position as well. So there seems a caution to just sort of hold back a wee bit, maybe, because we don't necessarily, is what I'm getting, we don't necessarily have all the information at this point in time. But that will change as time goes on. In the position of possible obstacles currently, we get the the Prince of Wands. This is more of an adolescent character to this knight. And of course the knights move very quickly. The prince is in his chariot, toddling along there. He can be indecisive, actually. Should I go here? Should I go there? Am I driven today or am I not? There's an element of that with the prince. And he can be unreliable, obviously. Slightly or inconsistent. We get that with the Nine of Swords. Yes, the great Nine of Swords, a card of speaking of obstacles, potential obstacles here. The Nine of Swords is a wonderful card of the sleepless night and worrying and all of that kind of thing. Often for no great productive outcome. In fact, it is the worrywart card, and those things that we all have periods, nights, the dark night of the soul. We all experience this at different times, and I see the direction here is just to believe that it doesn't last, that often undue worry just kind of makes you stressed out and unable to really do what you want to be doing. It's quite interesting. It's quite, even in this collection of cards here. We move to advantages. At this time we have the Three of Discs, the card in motion, a card of understanding what it means to bring something into form. So here we see the advantage, our ability to build, our ability in fact to get on with others, to draw people in and work with others, that we're not just on our own here. We're not just on our own in this card. We understand that it takes I just hear like a village to raise a child. I mean, it takes people with varying skills to get together and work together. And this is a challenge, but at times, of course it is. That's just the way it is. But this is, if we can do this, it means that we're generating new things, new perspectives, even new points at which to stand and view something. That is technically a new perspective, isn't it? But you know how hard that can be. We get very resistant to that often. So there's an advantage in the understanding that it does require people working together to actually get things moving. Interesting. Anyway, and we will clarify. Traits for ease is this beautiful, gorgeous, glorious Two of Cups. Mutuality. What's that other word? Reciprocity. Equal giving and receiving. Being able to receive actually is a gift in itself. A challenge a lot of the time. Many, when you think about it, a lot of the time we find it difficult to receive. But this is a mutual card, a balanced card. It's probably one of the most beautiful cards in the deck. Though I say, the deck is beautiful itself. Of course, the Two of Cups is also in itself a card of choice. So if we can keep this balance, we can keep a level of harmony and containment within ourselves, It can only benefit any situation that we find ourselves in currently, because I do feel, the last week or so has been quite challenging in a lot of ways. So let's just see. So we're looking at clarifying overarching energies of the Princess of Swords and Judgment. Can we peel the layer back here and look a little bit deeper into these overarching energies? We will get one more card. It will become quite clear. We get the King of Swords. The king, the benevolent king, knows truth and justice, knows what's real, what's not, what's an illusion. He has one sword. It's sword of discernment and truth. Something is building up to this point where things will become clearer, people. I do feel that. And that is when we can act. We can't, I'm talking generally here, like, we need more information before we can discern. And of course, as always, as this seems to keep increasing in terms of media and what the news that we do get access to, is that even beyond that, social media, there is a lot of everyone has an opinion, and the ideal with that is that everyone allows others to have their own opinion. There is no beyond, laws of living, treating your fellow man as you would, or woman, as you would choose and want to be treated yourself, and those fundamental sort of rules of humanity. Beyond that, everyone has their own truth, of course. Anyway, let's keep going. Position of choice with this impulsive, pretty sort of quite an attractive character if you were looking at this knight, in a more personalized reading, but very impulsive. There's always opportunities and times where we charge in without thinking. Can we clarify the knight, please, for everybody out there? Clarify the Knight of Wands, that is. Thank you. The Knight of Wands for the collective reading for this new moon. There are things that we do not see yet. Our choice here is we get Judgment again. There is something coming. There is a point coming up where I think there is some sort of reveal of sorts. We get with that the beautiful Empress. As I was saying, the Empress is about really very nurturing love, nurturing oneself primarily is the goal. We can't really nurture others beyond our own agendas unless really we've done a lot of soul searching and self-nurture towards ourselves. So this idea of working with others, working with a really creative and a very loving, nurturing backdrop That's the point from where we want to come. Ideally here, instead of being, we don't at this point necessarily want to be too impulsive, like this Knight. Now we come to potential obstacles with this Dark Knights of Souls, this Nine of Swords. We're kind of near the end of that suit at that point, and we're really, by the time we're at the 10, which is just obviously the next one up, that's it for that suit. We've done our cycle on the wheel here. Obstacles with the Prince of Discs, the adolescent. Let's see, the adolescent. Obstacles, potential obstacles. Interesting. The High Priestess. Bit of soul searching. Never goes astray here. With that we get the Ace. And obstacles can be advantages because we learn something from them. We learn how to get around them. We learn how to deal with them. So they can be an advantage. This Ace of Cups with the High Priestess is a gift. It's really a wonderful thing to take on and to create from. And this is what it is. It's raw love energy. Look, we've got a really strong female. I say female in those qualities that are nurturing, that are fecund, that are mysterious, that, the High Priestess is basically in the Sea of Binah, the primordial sea, which gives everything form here. And the fundamental guts of life generally is love. Love. So let's just see what advantages at this time. Advantages? Yeah. To be able to work with others with the Three of Discs, to be able to draw people in wherever you are, whatever community you're in. If you're living in a place that if you're isolated, draw people in other ways. Draw people in. Creating these new projects. There's a lot of contact, I guess, these days. Not that I generally do, but online, there are a lot of communities online if you are a little bit isolated. So let's see the advantages here. Benefits with this three of discs. I think this whole reading is really, for one thing, about we're talking about this at this current time. We're not actually seeing fully what will be revealed or exposed. I'm talking generally on a global level, in a global sense. We don't quite see it yet. There's anxiety involved in that, and when anxiety is involved collectively, that is when people start to blame each other. So we get right down to that sort of root chakra where just the basic sense of survival kicks in, and we're not fully really working from all the different angles that we could work. Take a deep breath, this connects up with self-love too. We need that compassion in order to be able to go beyond that kind of blame game and see the bigger picture. See the bigger picture, knowing that things always are changing and always shift, and your power within that. So anyway, I'm going off on three of discs. Advantages here. We are going to get far clearer information coming through at some point. I've got no idea what this is about, but this is what I get from the cards today, and this is a general collective reading for this global community. We get the Eight of Wands, a card of speed, a card of internet, in fact, an immediate communication, immediate. The speeding up, a speeding up process of understanding a little bit more fully. Now, understanding what? Who would know? Maybe understanding how we can work together as sort of collective humanity, instead of working at each other's throats. Might help, could be. Anyway, let's just see this. It's a beautiful time of the year here, actually. It's just starting to get cold, and all the there's a lot of geese around and a lot of swans, a lot of bird life, a lot of native birds too. We've got heaps of tui, beautiful birds. Okay, we get the Two of Cups, traits for ease, dear friends. Traits for ease here. At this time, with this collective reading for this new moon, solar eclipse in Gemini, we have the Two of Cups. Can we clarify that, please? Just get another card for that, if I can. And then we'll get a Pixie and Fairy card for each one, I think. I won't go on too long. All right, so we get the Two of Cups, traits for ease, balance, harmony, reciprocity. We get 3 cards here. We get what I feel is a little bit of constipation, in fact, for want of a better term, just at this time. There's a lot of room to dream, to imagine, like all the incredible potentials of anything, of there's so much information coming through from every direction that in the end you can kind of go have so many different interpretations and theories about all this information, but in the end, I think often when it feels like this, to just come back to your breath and whatever practice you have that makes you feel more grounded and more balanced. Commit yourself to that because it's so beneficial. Anyway, so traits for ease, we get the Hierophant. This is church. In the old days, of course. Well, I say the old days, but when the church ran nations and kingdoms and countries, it is seen that that way, and the institution and the power of those institutions. So it is about that, but I like to see it as your connection to the divine, and that the Hierophant comes to you in the form of someone who is a wonderful mentor, so someone who is in their own way, a kind of your own spiritual director. It's who listens to you. I guess therapists and psychologists perform those roles for people now. We could look at it like that, but to me it's spiritual information that comes to you, allows you to realize things within yourself. This is what we have access to if we choose to. And it looks like it's on hand, or there is there could be information coming out in regards to historical church matters. Who would know? With the beautiful Hierophant, though, he does hand us this key, and so we get given that knowledge. We have more of that with the High Priestess, and in fact more also with the Empress. We've got a very strong female thread running through this reading. Anyway, traits for ease. Oh no, my microphone just dropped off. I didn't even realise. This seems to happen quite often. I need to hopefully that's all right, fix that. So the Hierophant, we're clarifying the Two of Cups, the mutuality, the card and fact of choice. We have the Hierophant, and then, which I do believe is sort of like, are we ready? Are we ready? Are we ready for new information to be revealed? Are we ready on a personal level, on a collective level? Will we act upon it? Will we use it in the best possible way? We get the Eight of Swords with the Hanged Man. Look, self-limitation, how can I say it? Self-limitation, whether it's you in your own mind or you've just kind of not been able to. It's like what I get from these two cards is that one is something that we do to ourselves. It's singular. It's what we do to ourselves. The Hanged Man can be a kind of point where we just have to retreat so that nothing's coming in, nothing's going out. Technically, it's not really self-defeating because there's a purpose to it. There is a little sort of process. There's a wee fermenting cooking time from which he comes down again into the world. Look, it's interesting reading. I'm just going to get 3 cards. We'll get a journey map. We'll get a journey map card. Interesting reading for interesting times, maybe. We're moving ahead. We're moving forward. Look, we're moving forward, all right. We get, the second half of this year is going to be, I think it's going to feel a lot freer, like when we get over, it's like there's a hurdle, it's like just feels like there's a hurdle over June, and then it just starts to loosen up and start moving a bit more freely again. Look, we get a wonderful card, the Master Maker. We graduate, we've achieved, we've kind of jumped the highest We've gone down in limbo, you know, doing the limbo under the pole. We've gone the lowest. We've done all of that to every extreme in the best possible way. And the Master Maker comes to tell us that we've come through and we've graduated, and we get marked with wisdom, we get marked with experience, with the mastery, of course. He's like a little kingpin in his own right. And he's got that wonderful wand. He just goes, and then you've got the mark of the Master Maker. You've made it. You've surpassed some personal hurdles. You've made it. Maybe we're surpassing some global hurdles, you know, at the moment. And with that, we get the Spirit Dancer, breaking free. This is about unshackling oneself and really expressing to our fullest and most glorious potential here. And the fairies of the future in this card are running with their acorns. They're running with their bulls. They're running with this. It's pretty beautiful. We'll just get a journey map card. Look at it. Wow, that flew out. Look, yeah. We're getting new information coming through. We're speaking metaphorically here, possibly. We get new information with, look, data dreaming. It's coming through. It's coming through. In our dreams, we're getting new information, new insight individually, and maybe the Earth, the planets, the sun and the moon, it's all working. We're getting this new information. We're creating, there is a creation of new connectors, new synapses in our brains, in our understandings, generally. Wow. Look, I'm using Kim Cran's animal. I love this animal deck. It's just gorgeous deck. Look, dreams are a wonderful thing. We have this beautiful unicorn, all blues and purples. The potential is huge for this wonderful world of ours, and the people in it. It's very easy to get a bit disillusioned at the moment, but there's a lot of creative force in here. There's a lot of divine female energy in here, fertile and ready to spring anew. Enjoy the 10th of June, this beautiful new moon solar eclipse in beautiful Gemini. Thanks everybody. Take care. We'll see you next time. Oops, I am coming in with the individual astro signs as well. So thank you kindly. Ka kite, and we'll see you soon.